So in today's lesson, we're going to learn about the process of commodification and the role of mythology in the creation and perpetuation of Bollywood. So we're going to look at how they've turned Bollywood into a commodity, so the marketing that's gone into it, and the products that have been created in order to make Bollywood a profitable kind of business, and then how mythology and the creation of how mythology is kind of tied to that commodification process, as well as how the mythologies help to sustain Bollywood as being a popular I'm forgetting the word, a popular Indian film industry. Okay, so the process of commodification in Bollywood has started with songs, essentially. So songs are explicitly linked with Bollywood, as we have kind of come to see already. Songs are a big part of the film, and they're used to show how the character is feeling or what they're thinking at the time, not necessarily to represent reality. And by having that clear connection between music and Bollywood, they're able to, well, essentially they hire singers to sing those songs. So some actors can sing in their own right, but a lot of the time they hire singers to sing in the film, and Indians know it. They promote which song or which artist they've gotten into the film in order to sing the songs, and so that kind of gets people to engage with the film as well, because if they know that their favorite or their most favorite or their most liked artist is going to be in the film, then they're more likely to watch it. By also doing this, it also turns the music into something that, yes, is an aspect or a feature of the film, but is also just a song outside of the film as well, and therefore they're able to use it as a means to promote the film. And so it's usually played on radio in India prior to the film being released. Again, this is a way for them to build up hype and to get people interested into the film before it even comes out. And as we've seen through the clip in Love Ajkal, the video clip kind of looks like a music video clip, but it also kind of gives insight into what the film is about and the kind of actors that are going to be in it. So yeah, it kind of generates hype and interest in the film before it's even come out. Stars have also become a commodity since Indian independence in 1947. This is because they were able to. So before 1947, actors were contracted or developed by a film industry, so they could only make films that film company were making. But after 1947, Bollywood actors kind of started to behave like our actors do in Hollywood, and in that sense that they worked with several different directors in film companies, and therefore were able to market themselves in that sense. So then you get that creation of the star. No longer are people watching the film based on the production company that are making it, but they're now watching it based on the actors that are in the film. So yeah, again, that creation of the star. By doing this, it allows a cult-based following based on that star's persona, which allows businesses to align and sell products with. So as we see in product placement and brand endorsements, and we're going to go through some of those brand endorsements in a minute as well. But essentially, by having stars, you can then promote and sell products that are connected to those stars. So, for example, Amitabh Bachchan, he had a persona of being an angry young man, and that was kind of reflected in the films at the time as well, because the Bollywood films were kind of making or were benefiting from that persona, because people had this ideal of what Amitabh Bachchan was like, and so they were able to kind of connect to that, and so Bollywood films continued or perpetuated that persona in order to engage with their audiences. And he had an injury in 1982 in a car crash, and this kind of just shows the effect that this was having, because people prayed for him and offered to donate their limbs to help him heal. So people were clearly connecting to that persona and that character in a very real way, and so perpetuating that kind of just helps them to enable to perpetuate the popular culture. So as a way of example of understanding this, actors are now seen in 24% of Indian advertisements. So this kind of gives an idea of an understanding of the importance or the significance of the star and their role in Bollywood. Companies are also working to get actors to endorse their products. So, for example, Katrina Kaif and Shah Rukh Khan and Kareena Kapoor all have very strong brand endorsements. So, Katrina Kaif is with Audi, Shah Rukh Khan is with Oral-B, and we're going to look at a few of other Shah Rukh Khan's brand endorsements as well. And Kareena Kapoor is with Portico. So, they have some clear brand endorsements going on. What I'm going to, oh, sorry, did I skip a point? No. So what I'm going to show you now is a clip from a advertisement with Amitabh Bachchan, and he is advertising a brand endorsement he has with a jewelry company in India. And I might just skip towards the end just because you don't need to see all of it. But what I will point out is they're using his persona as being a friendly, kind of authoritative family figure, and you can kind of see that in this ad as well. And also the ad kind of looks like a Bollywood film in a sense. They're using his kind of what he exists in, so in Bollywood, and kind of reflecting that in advertisements. So I just want to make this clear, this is an ad, not a clip from a Bollywood film.
लो आ गए। हेलो। अजी सुना आपने? अपनी चुनमुन का रिश्ता पक्का हो गया। अरे अपनी सोन चिरैया अब तो हुई सयानी है, तुझे घर को जानी है, पर तांबे की भूल न करना, सोने से ही सजानी है। अपनी सोन चिड़िया को तांबे से क्यों? हम तो चमचमाते सोने से सजाएंगे। अरे जो चमके वो हर चीज न सोना, ये कहावत बड़ी पुरानी है, क्या ये बात ना आपने जानी है? देखिए, हम तो हमेशा 916 देखकर ही लेते हैं। अरे पर BIS कहाँ है? BIS? बैठिए बताता हूँ। ये मार्क हर गहने की जांच के बाद सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अप्रूव्ड लेबोरेटरी ही लगाती है। मतलब ये कि जितना कैरेट लिखा है उतने ही कैरेट।
So see how he's got that clear authority, the entire family kind of sitting around listening to him. I know we don't know what he's saying, but he's definitely talking about the jewelry and the quality and the product of it. And so again, like I said, this kind of looks like a Bollywood film in itself as well.
पूरी गारंटी जो इस
And it's not until the end that you can see that it's actually an ad.
916 मामूली 916 में नहीं है, ये लीजिए। कल्याण ज्वेलर्स, अहमदाबाद में 16 सितंबर से। तो अब हर गहना BIS मार्क देख कर ही लेना। हाँ।
So Amitabh Bachchan is an endorser of that jewelry company, and so he does a lot of ads for them as well. So that's just an example of brand endorsement that has come from stars, and this has enabled stars to become a product in themselves. People will buy these items that are associated with these actors in order to feel a connection with them and their persona, and so it's a way that they've kind of turned Bollywood into a product as well. So just continuing on with that idea, so the process of commodification of Bollywood. So product placements within Bollywood has increased significantly, and this is because India was given or recognised for the cinema and film industry as a formal industry or as an industry status, which was in 1998, which has allowed films and film companies and producers to seek loans from businesses and banks, and part of that loan is getting businesses to provide products in order for them to have some product placement and therefore get some funding from the businesses in that sense. So the film industry seeks business funding and product placement to ensure profits when releasing the film. If you remember a couple of lessons ago, I showed you the list of the amount of teen films that are being created, and very similar for Bollywood. There's roughly around 100 films released a month, and so there's a lot of competition within the industry, and therefore film industries and film production companies are seeking other means of making money as well, because there's no guarantee that you're going to get a massive hit at the box, and so they needed to make at the box office, so they need to ensure that they're going to make money other ways, and product placement is just one way to do that. And so magazines and internet forums utilise star personas as well, and this perpetuates the commodification of Bollywood and increases engagement because it provides avenues for stars to develop their brand whilst providing consumers a medium to consume Bollywood. And so an example of this is a website. It's a Bollywood internet website that focuses all on the actors and their lives and their romances and what they're doing next. So it's definitely just follows the actors' lives within Bollywood and kind of just narrates their life and what's happening at the moment for them. So this is again another way that Bollywood has turned into a commodity, and how they advertise how they advertise the films, because by connecting with these stars you're engaging with Bollywood as a popular culture, because the people will again go and watch the films that their favourite stars that kind of a feature in. So again, providing that association and enhancing interest within the industry. And also people sell magazines, so it's another way that Bollywood has kind of been turned into a commodity for businesses to make profits from. And also through the development of stars in their own right, this has also created brand endorsements, which is what we've looked at. And this provides variations of avenues for individuals to consume products related to their favourite stars, which I kind of looked at before with Amitabh Bachchan's ad. So this is another example of Shah Rukh Khan holding a Pepsi. So he has clear brand endorsements for Pepsi, as well as Nokia phones, which is something we're going to look at in a minute as well. But yeah, so the way that Bollywood has been turned into a commodity is through the magazines and websites that follow the stars and their experiences, the creation of the star, which has allowed for brand endorsements, and the creation of the film industry, which has allowed for product placements in order for them to make money, and then also the use of singers in their movies that create essentially songs in their own rights, which can then allow people to gain hype around the film, as well as purchase and engage with the popular culture through the music. Okay, so now we're going to look at the internal mythologies and how they've created and perpetuated Bollywood, and we'll also see that there's a clear link between the commodification process as well as the mythologies that exist within Bollywood. So there's two types of mythologies within Bollywood. There's internal mythologies and external mythologies. So internal mythologies are the stories and images developed around the popular culture. So they're there because they help audiences to engage with the film and also provide clear values which the films are based on. So examples of this are, initially they were around traditional Hindi myths, creating a distinct Indian identity. So that's, as we know, the inclusion of Parsi theatre and folk cinema. And so whilst they were centred around Hindi myths, they were also at times religiously ambiguous, allowing Indians to have that cultural connection whilst also not really stopping any religious group within India from connecting to it. It also assisted the creation and rise of Bollywood, as we know, as it perpetuated continued popularity amongst traditional audiences. So, for example, the Raja Harishchandra, Raja Harishchandra, that first film, as we know, really relied on prominent kind of Indian ideology and cultural mythology, and therefore allowed Indians, especially in Mumbai, to connect to the film because it was representative of their culture, and then continuing in that has allowed the Indians to continue to connect by including ideologies and understandings of general Indian mythology and Indian cultural mythology. And they have continued to represent the state as well. So as we know, the Indian films looked at the British colonialism and that government and issues they had and concerns they had around statehood and nationhood and independence. And then after 1947, when the British government left, it kind of moved to focusing on the Indian government and what it was doing. And they first looked at it as being a corrupt state, and now they kind of present it as being a bit of a benevolent state. So there's still political messages throughout Bollywood as well, and benevolent state is meaning like disinterested, disengaged, not really doing much. So the continuing look at or representation of the government is again another way that they can get Indians on a national scale to engage with the film and perpetuate its popularity, and perpetuate as well the ideology of Bollywood, which was to be a reflective or a reflection of the culture and the issues Indians were facing at the time. Also, another really prominent internal mythology, which has continued pretty much throughout the entire existence of Bollywood, is the inclusion of Indian family and lovers. So initially, they portrayed it as as lovers choosing between their family and love, and usually the individual would pick their family, which was perpetuating the dominant cultural value of family in India, of Indian culture at the time. So the focus on like arranged marriages and marrying someone in order to please and maintain family reputation was massive in Bollywood films at the time, and so that's kind of been a big feature and aspect of Bollywood. Also, another clear example of an internal mythology was the heroism of the poor. So they portrayed the working class as the backbone of society. This was especially the case after 1947 when the British government left. They did this to kind of build on that idea, or build on the development of India as a nation, and they used it and looked to the poor as being the ones that would kind of build up and develop India into a nation that they wanted it to be. However, since 1947 and kind of since like the 80s and 90s, this has shifted. There's much greater focus on wealthy NRIs and Indians, and this is partly to do with, again, perpetuating that mythology, perpetuating the popularity of Bollywood, maintaining its relevancy. People don't care about the poor so much anymore, and there's also trying to meet the demands and the interests of the wider Indian market, so the NRIs who live on a global scale, which is reflecting greater consumerism brought on by the introduction of the International Monetary Fund in the 1990s, and this brought great economic prosperity to India, and so the poor kind of became irrelevant in that sense, and there's greater opportunities for wealth and development in India now, for especially growing middle class, and kind of the films are representing that. So I'm going to show you a quick, one more point, and the importance of the NRIs retaining their Indian cultural roots while also being successful. So by moving this mythology from focusing on the poor and their development of the society to focusing on the wealthy and how they're kind of building up the profile of India as a nation is really important for NRIs and PIOs as well, as it helps them to retain their Indian cultural roots whilst also kind of connecting to their ideology or understandings of success as being tied with wealth. So I'm going to show you an example now from Student of the Year. In this clip, you're going to see a lot of brand endorsements as well as product placements, as well as just focusing on a person's wealth.
The girls got everything. The girls got everything. The girls got everything. The girls got I got it all. Jimmy Choo and the Lolo. Prada Italiano.
By the way, guys, this is from Student of the Year movie.
One more and more Louis Vuitton and Stella McCartney, Donatella Versace, the Louis Vuitton Gucci, Gulabi Divana hai dil ho gaya, इतना मुश्किल हो गया.
अनफॉर्चुनेटली किसी डिजाइनर ने प्यार नाम की चीज नहीं बनाई.
Okay, so as you can see in that clip, it's very much about consumerism, about wealth, as well as about aesthetics. So clearly shifting from the poor and kind of how they're developing the nation to the successes of Indians kind of globally as well. Okay, the last kind of mythology is the external mythologies, which is kind of what we've already covered. So they are the popular stories that are perpetuated about the stars and the industry themselves, which, as I've already said, that perpetuation enables people to engage with the actors that are in the film, which then allows them to connect to the films, which maintains the popularity of the films and Bollywood as an industry. So yeah, they help to perpetuate the culture by reinforcing cultural beliefs and identifying certain stars with particular brand appeal. So this enables businesses to market and advertise their products with stars. So for example, Nokia currently has a deal with Shah Rukh Khan to advertise their phones, and so they use Shah Rukh Khan's, the perpetuating mythology about Shah Rukh Khan as being a trendy, tech-savvy youth person. He's very, very popular amongst the youth. Lots of young teenage girls or Indian girls have posters of Shah Rukh Khan, even though he's well into his 50s now, in their rooms. So he's very popular, and the brands kind of tie into the mythology, or sorry, the personas created around those stars, and then kind of use that persona to help sell their products. And these external myths are frequently exploited by for commercial purposes, so through celebrity endorsements and increasingly through product placement within the films as well. So again, certain brands or certain companies will align themselves with actors within the film as well. They will promote certain products that they feel fit into an image that they're trying to attain. So including those, like we saw in that video with Kareem Kapoor in Student of the Year, and her singing and talking about different clothing brands. So those brand product placements will kind of fit into, she's very flashy, very pretty, feminine girl, and so those products are kind of emulating that persona as well. And so they kind of use that star persona to help sell products and to help perpetuate that. It also helps to perpetuate that mythology about that star, that she is wealthy and pretty, and that she's very feminine, and those brand product placements and brand endorsements continue that mythology, and therefore people that connect with and associate with her because of that persona, these kind of brands and product placements help to continue that persona, so people will continue to connect with her. This also provides Bollywood with the funds to support the creation of films, whilst also maintaining the external mythology surrounding the stars, personas and characters, as well as maintaining interest in Bollywood. If you see your favourite star in an ad, that kind of reminds you of them. It keeps them at the forefront of your mind, which means when they come out in a film, you're more likely to watch it. The product placements within films obviously provides the industry with more money so that they can then continue to make films as well. So just as a reminder, all popular culture is all about, the profits and the business and making money. And so all of these kinds of things help to maintain interest, allow the audience to engage with the popular culture, as well as making it relevant to the audiences, which all comes back to people buying products associated with the popular culture, as well as engaging with Bollywood in itself.